Hi, this is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. This is our chart lesson for Friday, December the 16th, I believe. Yes, today's the 16th. And this may be our last chart lesson before the end of the year. Again, if I get bored next week, I'm definitely taking all next week off. But if I get bored, I may do a chart lesson. Just depends on how busy I am and what my wife has me doing next week. But anyway, I'm just going to go over a couple of quick trades today. There was a great sell-off in the early morning, but other than that, it was, you can see really from sell-off ended right about just before lunchtime, and then we pretty much went into a trading range. So the trading range really started around 11 o'clock or so. This turned out to be the high side. And then you had your low side down here. And there was enough room in between the highs and the lows to buy and sell at. But, you know, since the trend was down so hard, you really were looking for shorts until we retested the low, and this was as close as we could get. Once we got above this trend line coming out through here, we tested it several times, and we just couldn't get any lower than that. And they were defending this level fairly well down here, but just nobody was willing to buy. And then my guess is, with all the problems going on in Europe, and with all the problems we got going on in Europe, people are just a little leery of going into the next week, this weekend and into next week with, putting on new trades, I would think. So, and it's Friday as we get closer to the end of the year, so there just wasn't much going. There was more volume than I expected today, and the sell-off was pretty dramatic, to be honest with you. And but I'm just going to talk about a couple of opportunities that we had today, and then I'm going to call it a day. I really wasn't even going to do a chart lesson today, but I've been having some problems with the sound on our videos. I've got better recording software now, but we were having some audio issues where there was a lot of popping. My recording device was making a lot of popping noise, my headphones or whatever, so I went and bought a nice new wireless pair today. So if you think about it, give me some feedback on what you think about the sound today, if it's better or about the same or whatever, but hopefully it'll get rid of some of the issues we were having with sound. It wasn't unbearable, but it wasn't great, and I just want to get the videos a little bit more professional sounding without all those pops and things like that in there. But anyway, when you think about it, give me some feedback on the sound. Tell me if you think it's better, worse, it's about the same, whatever. But let's talk about the trade opportunities today. The market really opened up. We actually had a chance. I guess I should talk about these longs. We actually did have a very good long opportunity right in here. And you can see, just let me get this out of the way and let me narrow in here a little better. We actually had this failed breakout down here. You can see we had a strong support area right across here, and we made this double bottom. So you could have actually gone long right here this morning. Here's was the first real entry. I really wanted to talk about that downtrend, but I guess I should talk about these. If you took this entry, that was a great entry, and nothing wrong with it at all. It's a second entry long coming off this high right here. If you can see, there's really kind of two legs down. You could have entered right here, but it wasn't a great place to enter because of all the overlapping bars, even though we had this break lower. So the best place to enter was above this bar right here. And if you took that, and it still wasn't a great setup other than the fact that we were coming off this low, and it was a trading range, and it was a second entry long. So if you took that one, it's okay. It wasn't a great setup, but it was okay. This was a pretty good setup right here, and hopefully you can see this. We had a new swing high that's higher than this swing here, so this count starts over. Even though we didn't break higher than that one, we did have a swing high higher than that one. So we got a new swing high. There's your first pullback, then your second pullback. So you got two pullbacks and a double bottom right across here, right at the EMA, after we just came off the low side of the range. And so this was a great setup, and you did have to go long above this doji, but this little break down here, as you can see, that's good enough to be a trap. And so it was okay to go long above that bar, but if not, you still could have gone long here. Even though it was at a high, that is a very bullish bar, and you can see you would have quickly been in and out of this trade. Any runners were safe regardless of where you entered here. And actually, I may take that back. If you entered right here, your runner was not safe. But if you enter down here, your runner was safe and worth probably 5 points or more if you exited up here somewhere near the top. But again, when we got up here and broke above that top, this was basically just a failed break higher, and we went into this trading range right here. But we did have this low that was lower than this swing low, and once we couldn't get any higher than this right here, you could have went short right here. This is good enough to be a breakout pullback short, but again, it's not a great setup because we weren't quite to the top. There was no real trap right there. But if you took that, it was okay because you were going short below a doji near the high of what had become a trading range, and there was enough room to scalp out before you reached down here. So if you took that one, it was okay, but again, not a great setup. This one was a breakout pullback short right here. You actually could have, if you see we had a trap right here, and we got a new high, so you could have actually gone short right there, although there was not much room before reaching this low. But I was assuming that prices would at least come down to test this double bottom, and that's what I was looking for right across there. So, but as you can see, prices went right on through that. So if you caught this entry right here, if you entered right here, it was okay, but the best entry was right here because this was a breakout pullback short, and this is 2 legs back to the EMA, and we didn't really have the trend line in place, but that's a 2-legged pullback to the EMA, even though it is very flat with a lot of overlapping bars. That little break higher right there, hopefully you can see that. I don't know if that line's straight across there. I got drawn, but anyway, there's a break higher right there by a tick that trapped everybody, and then we broke lower, and it looked like it was going to try to go higher, but right there was a breakout pullback short, and if you caught that, you could have got every bit of this move right here. This was about 12.19 something all the way down to 12.08. So it was about a 10-point move before prices finally made a failed break lower and rallied higher back up to the trend line. And we had our trend line break right here. There was a good sale. It's basically a double top coming off here, and it's the first break of the trend line. So you could have sold there. There was a scalp. When we made the double top again, there's another scalp. Here we came back and tested this high again. There was actually a buy down here, but I wouldn't have recommended buying that at all. It would have worked. By the time we got back over here, it was too late in the afternoon, but you can see we bounced right off that low again, and this became a trading range. So once this down move was over, there wasn't a whole lot that happened. There were a couple of key entry points right across here that I would say were worth taking. But other than that, there just wasn't much going on today, and you can see if you got your lines drawn properly, you can follow this stuff. There were a couple of trades early in the morning, then the nice sell-off with a couple of chances to enter. And this right here was a double 2-legged move back to the EMA, and you really could have drawn another trend line right down through here off those swings. So that was a 2-legged move back to the trend line, and there was another move back to it right there, but that one was, and that's a 2-legged move as well, and I think that probably would have worked. I don't think I would have recommended taking that because this sell-off was way overdone this morning, and but if you had have taken this one, entry was 12.09 1/4. Yeah, see, it tried to go lower and failed right there. If you did get in, you definitely should have got out on that bounce right there the second time before it took your stop out or took your money away again. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up today. This is again, let me know how the sound is, if it's better with this new mic, and if things a little bit clear as far as the sound without that popping noise we were having. And if you traded today, I hope you had a good day. I hope you didn't get caught long up here before this sell-off. And if you did, hopefully you reversed and joined in it the first opportunity. And then, in these holiday days, once we get into this stuff, it's almost not worth trading it anymore. So, that's one of the reasons why it gets, I'm not doing as much trading. I only traded for about 30 minutes this morning. Had one trade and I call it a day. And I didn't get any of this right here, unfortunately. So I made one little scalp over here on this move right here and got me a couple of points out of that, and I called it a day and have been working on some other opportunities. So use this chance. I mean, that's one reason why we get into this business, is to enjoy the time off and spend time with our family and enjoy the opportunities the lifestyle gives you. So hopefully you took off today early, and I would encourage you to do that over the coming couple of weeks before the end of the year. And if you did trade today, I hope you had a good trading day, and we'll see you next time. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com.